Hey everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for the latest episode in Chronicles and Collecting, where we're going to be unpacking a major score that I bought online a few weeks ago and just got in the mail. Definitely looking forward to opening it, seeing what I got inside. Probably won't actually do any unboxings today, but I think this should be a little bit more of like a preview of kind of the figures that I'll be checking out over the course of the next few months. Obviously, kind of depends on the order that I'm going in and what I think looks cool or what might be interesting. But if you see anything in here that looks like you might want to see me open, please feel free to message me or put in the comments or something like that, and we could definitely get it a little higher on the schedule. So this is mostly going to be robot spirits. It might be entirely robot spirits, and there's a bunch of, I think it's mostly used stuff. There might be some kind of lightly damaged box items, which is a pretty good way to save some money when buying some of the older ones and save on shipping compared to eBay, especially because a lot of these damaged box stuff, the box isn't really all that damaged, and if you're going to open it up anyway, it doesn't really matter. So let's see what we got in here. All right, let's start with this one because this is big. Okay, this one is probably the one I'm looking the most forward to, so we got this first. This is, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it, the Funsaiki, who's one of the Gundams from Mobile Suit G Gundam, and as you could probably tell, it is a horse. It is a horse Gundam that is piloted by an actual horse. Inside of the cockpit, there is a human on top of a horse that is piloting a kind of humanoid mobile suit on top of a horse mobile suit. And I do have one or two of the figures that are sort of designed to ride on him, and it's got like a little stand for galloping. So I think we'll probably see this one sooner rather than later, certainly when I do G Gundam. All right, here's another one that I really don't know how to pronounce. This is the DJ, we'll call him DJ. This is from Gundam Narrative, which is the sequel to Gundam Unicorn. This figure, I think there's actually two versions of it. One is the Zeta Gundam colors. It was piloted by Amuro Ray in Zeta Gundam. I'm not 100% sure who piloted it in Narrative, but they certainly were not as important as Amuro Ray is. So I'll probably open up those two together just to kind of do a little bit of a compare. This is like the version Ka. Kotoki Hajime, he's kind of one of the major Gundam designers, so he has a line of robot spirits where he kind of puts his finishing touches on it, and you can see there's a lot of cool details and markings around there. So this is the Vil Kiss, which is from Crossbone, which I think we briefly touched on in the last sort of unpacking video, which is sort of like an all-female version using sort of the Gundam Seed art style, kind of. I mean, it has nothing to do with Gundam Seed. This is the first print version, which I think has like a little figure on the top here that you could put. Basically, this has like two modes. This first mode over here, which is sort of like a bike mode, and then the second one, which is like a mobile suit mode. So you could put this little kind of figure to ride the bike, which I guess maybe someone might want to do. I don't know why you wouldn't want to just keep it in its like kind of cool mobile suit form. This one I'm really disappointed does not have a clear window because I really want to check this one out sooner than later. So this is the RX-93 New Gundam, which is possibly the most popular Gundam kind of like of all time. It's what Amuro brought into his battle with Char in Char's Counterattack, the movie version. He had a slightly different version of the mobile suit in the novel. This version, so I was kind of debating if I wanted to buy this because this is just a regular Robot Spirits, and this guy came out quite a few years ago. I'm trying to look for a copyright date on here. I don't see it. But it's probably like 4 or 5 years ago, and I feel like it's just a matter of time until they make like a much nicer version of it. But I did get the cool fin funnel effect set, which I wanted to set up and unbox, which we opened up in the last sort of unpacking. So this version, which is cool, is like the Psycho Frame active version. So, he's able to kind of gain some powers, and this is sort of reflected by his mobile suit glowing. So this is sort of showing that little glow. So I figure even if they make like a much nicer metal version of this, which I think again is probably just a matter of time because there's a lot of money to be made on new Gundam. It probably won't have this this Psycho Frame light version. So that's another one I'm like, I think we'll probably see that when we do Char's Counterattack, which should probably be pretty soon for the Gundam videos, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. This guy, I'm not 100% sure who he is. I know it's a version of Mazen Kaiser, which is, Mazen Kaiser is an OVA version of Mazinger. I mean, this guy just looks super cool. He's got this like long flowing kind of cloak cape and this giant sword and the guns. I will definitely watch this OVA before I do the unboxing so I could attempt to explain what's going on. Just kind of taking a look at this, I feel like maybe the show is probably going to be a little bit more focused on cool robot fights and not really explaining why this guy has a cloak. But, we'll see. This is a Super Robot Shogakin, not a Robot Spirits. I forgot that I even had a Super Robot Shogakin. And that line's been discontinued for quite a few years. I think this was actually one of the last figures in the line. So I was pretty excited when I was able to get an opportunity to pick it up for not too much money. Oh, okay, so here's the Master Gundam. This is one of the main villains in G Gundam, and one of the main pilots of this guy. So these guys kind of go together. Kind of see him on top there. So I'll probably open these guys up together and let him ride this horse. Oh, okay. This is the Crossbone Gundam. I mean, these Gundams just have like a cool pirate theme. They're actually mostly from a manga, Gundam Crossbone. I have a few different versions of it. Probably just take a look at all those together, and maybe I'll read up a little bit on the manga. I don't think it's available in English for me to watch. This is the Garazo. It's kind of, I believe, one of the villains in Mobile Suit Gundam 00, which I'm not a super big fan of, but I'm interested in figures that sort of have some sort of unique gimmick or unique weapon or something. So I thought these kind of nail beams here were pretty sweet. So I thought it would be worth unboxing. I also was able to pick this up, pretty cheap. So figure I check that one out. Got the Garazo there. Just got a few more. All right, here's another, as I said, there's another Crossbone Gundam. This is the X3, so there's an X0, an X1, an X2, and an X3. There's a bunch of different versions of all of them. I don't know all the differences off the top of my head. I'll definitely make sure to research those to go over them. I believe what makes this one different is that it has these effects parts, and this one came out after this is the second version of the X3 to come out in Robot Spirits. So it has, better sculpting and all that kind of stuff. Whereas I believe the X2, it was almost the opposite, where there's a later version that came out that had better detailing, but actually had less weapons than the original release. I think it's always a constant mix between wanting to incentivize people to buy the new stuff, but not, punish people for buying the original. And this is the last one. This is the Versago chest break. This is one of the villains in Gundam X, and I believe there's only two Robot Spirit figures for Gundam X. So we'll probably take a look at those together. I think that's it. So we'll just do a quick, brief recap here. We got the Versago chest break. We got the new Gundam Psychom frame light version. We have the Garazo. We have the Mazen Kaiser SKL here. We have the Master Gundam and his trusty steed, Funsaki. Let's move these back a little bit so we got room for everything here. We got the Crossbone Gundam X2 and the Crossbone Gundam X3. We got DJ. And we got the Vil Kiss. All right, well, awesome. Thanks so much for checking out this video. Please make sure to check out the other videos on the channel where we do unboxings of robot spirits and Chigokins. New videos go up every Wednesday. If there's something you see here that you want me to open sooner than later, please make sure to send me a message or a comment. I'll definitely read it and try to get to that, even if I have to do something a little out of order. Like I said, I would expect to see the new Gundam pretty soon because I really want to open that, as well as the Fusaki Horse Gundam and the Master Gundam, because I definitely want to check those out, and maybe do a little primer on G Gundam. Thanks so much, and keep collecting.